Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is See How They Run. So I know this is Sam Rockwell and my Queen Saoirse in a murder mystery. I love a good whodunit. I can't wait for when Glass Onion comes out in December. I'll definitely be reacting to that too. I don't really have too much to say before getting into this. Is pretty much blind. So before we do, be sure to check out the Patreon page where you can get 1 week early access, full-length timer-based version of this where you just sync up real footage and you can watch along with me. You can also find extended reactions where they have longer clips of the movies and a few other bits of reactions that I cut from the YouTube edit, and you can find polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Oh yeah, what's the location? That looks like London. Yeah, Trafalgar Square there. London's West End, yeah. 7 Dials, yeah.
It's a whodunit. You seen one, you seen them all.
Don't know about that.
Takes a couple of wrong turns, and then gathers all the suspects in the drawing room.
Oh, that's cool, the split screen. Oh, there we go. Is that the first death? Hey, that was just an accident.
Leo Kopernik's the name.
Oh, it's Adrian Brody, okay.
Hired to make the film adaptation marginally less boring than the play.
I assume this was Sam Rockwell being a detective.
He's of the opinion that a modern audience will walk out in protest if they're not served at least one violent death in the opening frame.
Oh, that's what I assumed with that sandbag hitting the guy.
It's only fair to warn you that I learned to box in the RAF.
Yeah? Well, I learned to fly a plane in Gleason's gym.
Oh, right for the cake as well.
How I come to be in the theater's backstage area in need of a change of clothes.
And is that when a murder happens and he gets roped into it too? That's cool through the mirror. I love a shot through a mirror like that. It's just a mannequin, right? Yeah, he's just paranoid. So is it going to be Leo who gets murdered? We do kind of have a reason why, perhaps, from the writer. Yeah, sort of like, yeah, prop stuff meant to be destroyed. And we have another reason with the guy who beat him up for flirting with his wife too. Oh.
It's always the most unlikable character gets bumped off. It's a whodunit.
Okay, I already have like 2 suspects that have motives, but I'm guessing it's gonna be someone else who has a motive we haven't seen yet. They must introduce a few more.
Sorry, I didn't recognise you, sir. I've actually just been transferred myself. Thought it was Lee completely on rotation tonight.
Yeah, so she's a bit of a rookie, fumbling about a bit.
God, you're all wet through, sir. Hope you don't catch a cold after that. Yep, after you, sir.
She's not gonna lock the door behind herself.
I go to the pictures quite a lot, actually. It's the escape, I suppose. The romance of the silver screen.
Yes, thank you, Constable.
He's clearly not as chatty.
Actually, sir, I believe that happened when Mrs. Boyle was killed.
Mrs. Boyle.
Yes, sir. Just that woman in the front row there.
Yeah, all part of the play.
Do you like a good murder?
Yes, thank you, Constable.
Yes, sir.
Did they move his body to here? Whoever it was that did it?
Yes, sir. Staged, so to speak. Yeah, that's the ski that he took in the face, sir. And I'm afraid it was downhill from there. Sorry, sir. That one just came out on its own.
It's weird her name is Stalker. Like, it makes it sound suspicious. But if Saoirse did anything, she's innocent. I didn't see anything.
Looks like the killer tried to pull out the victim's tongue.
Why would anyone do a thing like that?
Just out of spite or something, because they hated him so much.
As a precaution.
Precaution? He's already dead.
But there's still a murder in the room.
It's a public relations disaster is what it is. But your latest blunder is front page news.
I mean, no matter what he did, it's going to be public knowledge, isn't it?
Rillington Place, murders. Yes, what's that?
We have a serial killer on the loose.
So could that be the same killer though?
That will be all Thank you,
Commissioner?
Inspector.
So the chief of police didn't seem that helpful. You know, he wanted to reopen the theatre again. Do things go higher, perhaps? Could it be tied to him?
He was not a very good guest. He did not pay for his room. Monsieur Wolf did.
Yeah, so Wolf and Leo were quite close, but could Wolf have been bringing him here? You know, bringing him here to murder him, perhaps?
Always avec Monsieur Whodunit, there was an incident.
Oh yeah, the ripped in half screenplay.
You called me a bad writer.
Say that. I said it's bad writing.
I did the best I could within the confines of the genre.
Oh, with Mervyn.
Listen to me. Listen, I need to go in a completely different direction.
Okay, so he didn't rip it in half, it ripped when they were fighting over it.
I'll kill you for this, Whodunit. You bastard.
I mean, that's a bit too obvious. So if a character say, no, kill you for this. Obviously, at the moment, I'm just kind of suspicious of everyone. Even maybe people I shouldn't be suspicious of. Like, if they're trying to subvert our expectations, then it is Stalker or Stubbard, perhaps.
So you do write everything down?
Yeah, everything.
That's what I thought.
I mean, writing every little detail down does seem helpful. You need all the evidence that you have.
And now goes your box. That's Gio. Nephew of mine.
Nephew, short nephew.
Oh yeah, the play. Yeah, I didn't see it yet.
Well, if you'd like, I can precede this story.
No. I got the basics. It's a whodunit.
Yeah, how do you expect him to direct it if he's never actually seen the play? He needs to do the research for it.
Whatever next? A caption that says 3 weeks later.
They're trying to be meta with it, yeah.
I pitched a new ending. Cockamamie novice over here locks himself in the bathroom.
I mean, how can you write a new ending for a play that, you know, it already exists? It's just adapting it.
Out of nowhere, our hero cop's partner dives in slow motion, takes a bullet.
Oh god, this sounds like it's set up. Hopefully they'll subvert it.
How does he get the gun?
He's a cop.
Police are not armed in England.
Yeah. So he just wants like a big action ending.
The mother of Copernic's illegitimate son. Cocker Norris couldn't remember her name, but I bet it's in that little book.
Yeah, so it could have been her. Could have been one of these women that he keeps pursuing.
Get an address for John Wolfe, the film producer. And I'll wait for you here.
Romulus Films, Soho, sir, I wrote.
Yeah, he just wants this excuse for a little nap.
Me? I just sort of fell into it, really. They needed people after the war, and I needed the money.
It's nice to hear Saoirse with her native accent as well. She's not doing an English accent or an American accent in this one. You know, she must be playing up a bit the Irish accent, but still.
Oh, you're joking.
Does she, I can't remember, when she's a constable, does she have the authority to go in there and question him? Or does she need Stopper to be there too?
Follow this up with another.
Oh, but now he could have left in the time she's gone looking for Stoppard.
So it's not true that Copernic had dirt on you?
Oh? He did just now, perhaps. Is the dirt just these two dating?
You must be Mrs. Wolf, huh?
Oh, this is Anne. She's my assistant.
Oh, so he's been cheating with his assistant. Okay.
I see. Well, we'll be in touch if there's anything else.
Yeah, so even more motives. I guess leaving it on that note puts Wolf on the edge a bit.
I think if that was the case, he wouldn't have volunteered the information.
So, then he's in the clear?
No, not necessarily. He might have killed Copernic for another...
Yeah, she's too, like, black and white on everything, really, isn't she?
It's an antiseptic, I had a feeling.
I thought you said it was a routine checkup.
I see we've read the chapter on interrogation techniques.
Yeah, she's very observant. She's very good at it, you know? She would be a good investigator.
And a hat that was on his head.
Right, yeah.
What's this giant book that she's got?
It wasn't so much what he did, it was more, you know, the way he did it.
Right. How'd he do it?
suspiciously.
What was he doing? Yeah, they're not getting anything out of this guy, are they?
We're here to conduct an interview as part of a murder investigation, not an article of sight and sound.
Yeah. Don't get too excited.
A real-life detective. Scotland Yard and everything. And you are.
Yeah, she's already giddy.
Constable Stalker. Yeah.
Oh, I like the way you did that. Very natural.
Oh, he's like analysing the body language for roles and things, maybe.
Well, are you a lover of theatre? I can get you tickets if you like.
Oh, trying to bribe them.
Very much.
It'd be good to get a professional take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But is that just like his costume for the movie? Because we saw that costume was there in the prop room anyway.
It was me, Inspector. You need look no further.
I arrest you for the murder.
Oh, God.
I'm the director. Without me, there is no movie. Understand? You got a problem, buddy?
Yeah, he was already ready for a fight.
Thinking me talk around? Got a very, silver tongue.
Yeah, he was trying to pull a Weinstein, I guess, use her, promise her fame.
He's such a crybaby. Honestly, he acts as though I put a gun to his head.
She's kind of self-admitting here, isn't she?
No motion picture based on the stage play The Mousetrap is to enter into production until a minimum of 6 months.
Yeah, so there's a bit of time. He has to wait to get the film produced. That gives him the motive to do it, to get his film produced earlier.
Be our marriage certificate. Well, first it'll be the divorce papers, but then our marriage certificate.
So she had that dirt on him as well.
What's this?
It's a tarot card.
I can see that. What does it mean?
Betrayal.
So the wife found out, but through tarot cards. I was just wondering, could it have been the wife trying to attack Wolf, but then accidentally ended up attacking Leo? But we did see, the killer didn't see who it was they were attacking.
He's a ruthless customer as Wolf. He'll stop at nothing to get his film made.
You see, she's trying to manipulate them, planting that seed in their head. But is that getting the attention away from her?
And then he could get shot of a blackmailer.
It's not Wolf. It's too elaborate. Burn the place down.
Yeah, it needs to be simple.
Need a director to make a film?
Well, then it's fine.
Notice I've got Stalker drinking Guinness.
Is there a Mr. Stalker?
I'm afraid he died in the war, sir.
Oh, really?
Children?
A boy and a girl.
Can't be easy.
Oh, they were her kids. I assumed they were her, siblings when she went in and her mum was there. Oh? The unfaithful wife was Kopenick's mystery woman. So it could have been Stoppard. Yeah, so that son was Leo's. And he does have the exact build and the hat, but is that too obvious? When the butler was describing the hat and everything, I was thinking that is the same hat that Stoppard's wearing.
Inspector Stoppard got the call and not Leek or Priestley.
So?
Did he request to be on this case?
11:30. Book at bedtime was on.
See, in other countries you need money to bribe people, but in the UK just a biscuit will do. I think it's too early for it to be Stoppard. There's still a bit of the film to go. Yeah, she doesn't want to jump to conclusions, that's true. She needs to keep prodding until she's sure that it's him.
No one is ever going to take you seriously as a police officer if you act like a tea lady. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Milk and 2 sugars.
He still has one, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be the one stuck around doing the tea run.
Agatha Christie or Mervyn Cocker Morris. Anyone can do her, but only I can do me.
Strunz. Icus, Vicus.
I wish I could understand what Gio was actually saying. Would that reveal anything?
These aren't together, sir.
Oh. Well, we can cover more ground that way. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess they can observe how everyone interacts. There might be a clue in the actual play as well that gives it away.
In this unseasonable blizzard? What on earth for? Good Lord.
And did he have a little bit of a limp there? Looked like it.
Please excuse the limp. An old war wound playing up in the cold.
They said this was based on a true story. It's not based on something Stoppard was in himself, was it?
One died, the other left traumatized.
Why can't he sit through it? Is it just that bad? But he should be observing and writing, shouldn't he? Because he's writing the adaptation.
God, that has to be the worst cup of tea I've ever had.
I agree.
It's just the bad acting, like Dickie there. It sounded like he was folding it in a bit. Could it be something to do with Geo? We haven't really got much characterization from him. Could it have been something? He killed him to stop Mervyn always not paying attention to him or something? Okay. But on the play, she's not being strangled by someone? What? And someone wearing that hat and coat again. And there's 2 people dead tied to the film adaptation.
Turn the lights on.
No, that was just Stoppard finding the body, wasn't it? That was just him there finding the body. Because he Stoppard, he doesn't have the scarf that was covering the rest of his face. I think Stoppard's just found the body, saw a clue, and is chasing after the killer now.
And thank you for the tickets.
They're very welcome.
Yeah, don't jump to conclusions. Don't whack him with that if it's not him. What's she done? Taking him out to the forest? Or he's just having a dream sequence?
What brings you to this neck of the woods?
Oh, a murder.
Was anyone sad to see me go?
Oh, yeah. There wasn't really, was there?
Yeah, I know you. What are you doing?
Sir.
It's Geo. That was Geo in that vision, wasn't it? So why would he have done that? I think it's obvious he was in a relationship with Mervyn. He wasn't actually a niece. I mean, a nephew.
Oh, come on. You don't seriously think that Leo...
Didn't your wife leave you for a Yank? Leo was an American GI.
Does he not even know that it was Leo?
They do it out of revenge or rage because they have lost a loved one and can't forgive or forget.
I feel like this is him just finding out. He just knew it was a Yank, not that it was Leo.
You wrote that down.
She writes everything down.
Joyce is here.
Constable.
Oh, is she going to be a different woman, though?
Never seen that woman before in my life.
But your name is Joyce?
It's a common name.
So, yeah, it's someone else.
Commissioner, why don't you run along back to the office, look over the quarterly accounts. Let me handle the murder investigation.
Inspector.
Is that really enough to just let him go like that if he's a suspect now?
Hello, Wolf. Didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, they're gathering them all in a isolated country house, yeah. Oh God, they're like recreating the play, aren't they?
The Christie residence? It is.
We have an invitation.
We do, yes.
Are we going to actually get to see Agatha Christie here?
Good God, man, you're frozen solid. Come
Cold,
in.
it's cold, yes.
Why is this butler trying to turn them away? Is Agatha not here herself or something?
It's just like one of her confections. She's in the kitchen now trying to figure out some new ending.
So yeah, is this all set up by the police, by Stoppard to get them all in the same place? Well, it can't be any of that. I feel like it must be Geo because we saw it in that vision. I'm just trying to think of the motive. Just because Mervyn was spending too much time away from Geo? Or because they got in that argument, Geo got revenge on his behalf? But then he ended up killing Mervyn, so I'm not sure. Or he killed Mervyn so they didn't get caught in a relationship together?
He turned on this tall fella who came in after us and shouted, "What are you following me for, buddy?"
So she's going to give it away, all away here?
Had a funny accent.
Italian.
No, not that funny. Village idiot.
Village idiot? Who is it? I can't think of like who has the accent of a village idiot. Oh, him. Okay. The butler. I mean, would you call him a butler? He was like a stagehand.
Owen, Constable.
Yes, sir.
Make a start on the paperwork.
No, she should go with him and be there for the climactic ending. Although if they recreate the foreshadowing earlier, she's gonna die, perhaps.
Don't tell me you had the idea first.
It happened to me. I'm sorry, I am completely lost. I don't have a theatrical background.
Oh, so it's based on a true story and he was part of the true story? So he never got any royalties from that?
My brother's death reduced to a cheap sideshow.
Yeah, it makes sense, okay.
Be able to rest in peace until the play ended, but it didn't.
You just kept going and going.
And Mervin's new ideas for the film made me sick to my stomach.
I'll take the bare bones of the story, a rather mundane tale of child abuse, and make it my own.
He could have revealed himself to Mervyn and told him to write a better story, tell my story better.
Yes, of course. Why don't you come in and sit down, Dennis? Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, they're just being nice to him. Yeah, of course. Stalker's gonna be stalking, she's gonna be following. Yeah, someone grabbed the gun.
I mean, how would Agatha Christie like it if someone took one of her stories and twisted it?
The hand just on the frame, that's really funny.
There you are, my dear.
Sorry to have kept you. No, please don't get up. Not on my account. Oh, well. Oh, no.
And she's poisoned one of the cups of tea. Yeah, now they don't know which one it was.
Everyone else helps themselves. Now,
It's surprisingly civil, isn't it?
why don't we sit here and drink our tea and discuss the matter like civilized people?
He could have done that in the first place, couldn't he? Yeah, it's not going to be the right one, is it? So here we go, he's going to take Agatha hostage. Stalker's going to come in and jump in front of the bullet, maybe. But I feel like it's too obvious to set up. They'll subvert it somehow.
Dennis. Put the popular author down, please, Dennis.
The house needs to be set alight as well, doesn't it? And it's gonna damn, yeah.
Dennis, don't do it, please!
Did it hit either of them, yeah?
Sir, actually, I don't feel anything. I think it might have just been a nick.
Yeah. Just the nick of time, I'd say.
Yeah, so it didn't actually hit either of them.
What I mean is that, I don't think the bullet hit me, sir.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, no.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're right again, Constable.
Oh, okay, so it actually hit him. Oh, the old dear's just sitting there, sipping on her tea. Yeah, and this butler died for no reason at all. Sitting on the couch, yeah, sitting on the sofa.
She aced them.
Yeah, of course.
The play, if you can believe it, is still going strong in London's West End.
Yeah, it'd only get more and more popular after all of this.
You are an accomplice to murder, and so we ask you to remember that it is very much in your interest not to tell a soul outside of this.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't go spoiling it. Okay, so that was See How They Run. I didn't see it coming at all. The reveal, of course, it being the usher and him being what inspired the actual play, The Mousetrap. But I don't think anyone could have seen that coming, really. Maybe you would be a little suspicious of him, but like, even when they said, oh, he's the guy with this accent, I was like, I can't even think of someone with that accent, you know? There was obviously, you know, there's so many false leads, different motivations. Everyone's got their own motivations, don't they? So it could have been anyone, really. And it's just, it turns out to be Dennis, this usher, who had... You know, he did have some screen time. We did actually get to see him quite a bit, but he was more of a background character, you know. He was none of the suspects that we had initially, was he? He wasn't one of those suspects. And that's kind of why I thought it was Gio. Of course, we did see Gio in that dream sequence, but I thought it was Gio just because he was a side character. He wasn't a suspect, but he was close enough to the suspects that it could have been him. And there was kind of potentially reasons why he did it. When they said that the play was based off a real story, I was wondering if that would come back up, and it turns out it came back up in Dennis, but I was thinking maybe it would come back up in Stoppard, just because, you know, the way he dressed, it was similar to the way the killer dressed in the play and then the killer in real life as well. So, you know, I thought it would tie back in potentially to that play, but you have to be really paying attention to what they're saying about the play, about it being based on a real story about the brothers. You'd probably never guess it was one of the brothers. There might be one or two people out there who are really sharp who got that, but no, I didn't. I do have to say, it does feel like the movie was trying a bit too hard to be quirky and like a Wes Anderson film. You know, they even had Adrian Brody and Saoirse Ronan in here, and like a lot of the shots as well, it did feel very Wes Anderson, but it did feel like a little bit of like a bit of a knockoff Wes Anderson in a way. I think it was kind of hit and miss, the comedy throughout. I thought Saoirse, she did a really good job here. She kind of stole the show. She was probably my favourite character in here. She obviously, Saoirse, she just kills anything that she does. But it just felt like some of the jokes, some of the quirkiness, it was just, yeah, a bit hit and miss throughout. And maybe just trying a bit too hard to be meta. You know, they set up what the ending would be. We all kind of knew what the ending would be. And then the way Leo is doing the voiceover at the start and the end, doing the narration, it was kind of making fun of whodunits. But then did it really do much to subvert whodunits? I think especially not in the same way that Knives Out did. Knives Out was a really good subversion of whodunits. But I feel like this, it was kind of a standard whodunit, but a bit more meta. Kind of the criticisms Leo makes at the start, it still kind of applies to this film, right? It doesn't do anything to subvert that. And it's funny it being meta, but it doesn't kind of excuse you for still falling into those traps, I guess. You know, there's still a lot of mystery and intrigue. A lot of the connections between the characters are really good. You can see why certain characters would be the murderer. And, you know, more information is revealed as the movie goes on, and that's what you'd expect from a whodunit. You know, it could have easily been Wolfie's wife or Wolfie's ex-wife because of everything that was happening with Anne. I'm not sure if it could have been Dickie. He didn't really seem to have a motivation, but, you know, you could have potentially played into just him being this kind of posh, pompous person, and he had some reason to do it, you know. I did really like Dickie in this, actually. I thought his actor did a good job as well, even though he didn't actually have that much screen time in the end. And then they never actually confirmed the Mervyn and Gio thing, but I assume it was they were in a relationship, and at the time they obviously couldn't reveal that, and that was why I thought Gio would be the killer potentially, if maybe Leo had found that out, or he had killed Mervyn because Mervyn had broken up and Mervyn was going to reveal that he was gay or something along those lines. I think there was a very good reason you could suspect Gio, and him speaking Italian, we never actually understand what he's saying. That could be revealing some information that you wouldn't know unless you also spoke Italian. So Gio was one of my prime suspects. They had that whole fake out with Stoppard being the person, and I thought it was just a bit too convenient and too soon in the movie for it to actually be him. Just because if that reveal was going to happen, it was going to happen in the third act, not kind of towards the end of the second act like it was happening, unless they were changing up what they were doing in the third act and making like the third act like this more actiony kind of thing, potentially them hunting down him, but he was already captured and in the prison. Like, where would they actually go from there for that third act for the film? It was a little convenient, it just being like another woman by the same name. You know, it felt like he got out of that situation a bit too quick there, but you know, it ended up working out, and that was a really good motivation. But of course it was just Stalker jumping to conclusions like they'd warned her not to do before. So yeah, I think that's everything. That was just a nice, light-hearted, fun ride. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment, and if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe to keep up to date for all of the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.